Hey everybody, it's Dan Bucatinsky and I am live on the 25 words or less Instagram page. I had a tiny Wi-Fi glitch right when I tried to log on, but now I'm on and I'm so happy to be on. Answer a lot of your questions about 25 words or less. And thank you for waving and joining us. And I will try to answer as many questions as I can from you guys. We have a bunch of questions that came in from the Instagram story yesterday. So I'm going to try to answer those first. I think I just saw a cat walk by, which is kind of fun. I'm here in Santa Barbara, California. And I was just yesterday on the phone with the entire 25 Words or Less team, Mary McCormick, Michael Morris, Bruce Sturton, who created the original board game upon which 25 Words or Less is based, and Lisa Kudrow and Meredith Vieira and our whole production team, talking about how and when we get to come back and make another season of 25 Words or Less, which is in the works. But obviously when we do it later this summer, we want to do it in as safest way as possible. So that may answer some of your questions. We are planning on moving forward later this summer to make an entire season of 25 Words or Less. Joe Atikwe asked me who my favorite celebrity partner is. Oh boy, well that's hard because that would be really hard. For me, I've played with a bunch and I don't know if I can pick a favorite. I always, of course, love playing with Lisa Kudrow, who's been my business partner and producing partner and dear, dear friend for almost 20 years. So she is a total favorite of mine. I liked playing with Drew Pinsky. That was really fun. We had never met before, and we had a really good time playing together. Also, Rachel Harris and my Baker and the Beauty co-star, Lisa Vidal. We had such a good time together. Who's on now? Anne loves Spock. Sometimes I'm a nervous wreck watching Pulling for You. Yes, you and me both. That show makes us crazy. It is so nerve-wracking. And the nerves, we so badly want to win for our contestant. That is absolutely authentic. But you get caught up in the competition with your fellow players. So that's one of the joys of playing this game, is the fact that so many people, that the wordplay is so hard and fun and competitive. And at the same time, you're playing for a contestant. So you're constantly weighing whether you're going to try to do it for your ego or do it for the contestant. But the contestant's always the one we're thinking of first. Let me see here. The next question is, what's an average day like when filming? How many hours do we work? Well, the celebrities are often booked to do more than one episode at a time. So we will have them come in for a day and they will shoot 6 episodes of 25 Words or Less with 6 different pairings of contestants. And they'll come and they'll bring changes of clothes, and we take a quick break in between each game. Meredith changes and we go out and do it again. So it's a long day, but it's really, really fun. Another question is if we have to bring our own outfits. Well, usually we want the celebrities to be as comfortable as they can, and so they bring some of their favorite changes of clothes, and it's the fastest way to go. What gives me the most anxiety playing the game? Oh my God. When that clock goes off and you have in your head your plan for how you're going to try to get those 5 answers said by your partners in such a short amount of time. And then you do you think you've figured out the perfect clue, but they can't read your brain. And if they don't get it, you've got to think so fast to try to have a plan B. So that to me is the most anxiety provoking. I've had some really fun wins, and I've had some real clunkers. Like, I don't know Ariana Grande's music. So one of the things I get made fun of the most by my peers on the show and my friends is that when I had to do a clue for Ariana Grande, I knew she was a pop star. I couldn't think of any of her songs. I can't believe I couldn't. If I just said thank you next, 3 words, it would have been perfect. But instead I said singer, Starbucks medium. And I thought Starbucks medium would go right to Grande. Right? That, to me, it was so obvious. And people were like, chai latte? So I didn't have a backup. And so we didn't win that round. as you know. I don't know if you guys remember that. Thank you for joining, all of you. How are you going to film the show with coronavirus? Well, as I started when I first hopped on, we are in the middle of planning a second season in the safest way possible and in a way that is consistent with all of the recommendations of the state of California, the CDC. So we are trying to do the safest, healthiest way to make a season 2. But we're very, very excited to do it, and we're very committed to doing it. Do the celebrity contestants get a bonus? No. The celebrity contestants do not get a bonus if we win the big round. I know that's a great question, and boy, wouldn't that be good. But no. We're playing for the contestants, not the celebrities. And I think we have a little not a parting gift. I think in the past we've given a little thank you basket to our to our celebrities. But really, everybody's in it to play because it's so fun, and everybody loves to watch a contestant win money. There's nothing more satisfying. And I just love watching the old clips of any of my peers winning $10,000 for their contestant. And some of the contestants play so well. You know, that final round, it really is up to the ingenuity and the speed of that contestant to get all those words. To get all 10 of those answers in 25 words or less. And it's really about the speed. I loved it. You know, when Mary McCormick plays, and she started the whole thing because she used to play this game, the board game created by Bruce Sturton. She would play it in her living room with family and friends for years, and then she optioned it, and we all collaborated on making the series. But when she plays on the show, you'll watch, she's really competitive, and she just wants it to move as fast as possible because speed is the name of the game. All right, let's see if anybody has a question over there. I need Lisa on every episode. Yeah, Lisa Kudrow. Well, look, I'm biased, but she's a great player, really, really funny, and one of the smartest people I know. Hold on. Morning coffee. Okay. Awfully late. Let's see. A charity show. Oh, that's a good idea. Well, we'll put that into the suggestion box, but it would be really fun to do maybe an all-celebrity round of 25 words or less and play for charity. That would be really, really fun. I'd love to do that. Once I heard you say your daughter was in the audience. After the show, does she give you ideas of what clues you should have said? Yes. Yeah, my kids came to watch me play a few times this past last summer, and listen, this game. You know what Monday morning quarterbacking is, right? This game is the one where you're driving home afterwards and it occurs to you, of course, it occurs to everybody else. Why didn't you say this? Why didn't you say that? Another one that is a great clue, a good example of one where if you could just space if you don't come up with it. The clue was mushroom. And the perfect clue the answer was mushroom. The perfect clue for mushroom is just the word shiitake, right? But when you're in the moment, this wasn't one of mine, it was somebody else's. But when you're in the moment, if you don't think of the name of that mushroom, you're just thinking fungi, you're thinking grows in the ground. Like you're trying to come up with as few words as possible to get someone to say that word. And you forget that just offering a type of whatever it is could be the perfect clue in one word. Thank you for joining. I'm waving right back to everybody. We're getting a nice crew. Let me see what the next question is. Let's see. How do celebrities get on the show? Do they request to come on the show or are they invited to come play? That's from Jan Eustachio. I hope I'm saying that name right. We do outreach. We contact a lot of people to see if they want to come play. And once people knew about the game and once people had played a little bit and heard about it, a lot of them are from relationships that we have had over the years. Mary and Lisa and myself, we outreach to our friends, but also a lot of people hear about how fun the game is and they want to play. But we do a lot of outreach. We go out to long lists of celebrities to see if they want to play and see if their schedules will allow it. Nikki Hodgson is asking, what does the soundproof room look like and what kind of antics go on back there? Well, there's something called a green room, which is a soundproof room backstage. It's across from Meredith Vieira's dressing room. At least it was on the stages last year. We may be on new stages this coming season. And they close us into that room. And so all 4 of the celebrities are in there with music playing. so that there's not even the chance that through that heavy metal door you'll hear anything. And for the most part, we don't really horse around that much. We're usually just kicking ourselves for the answers that we could have come up with in the prior round. That's pretty much what's been happening in those soundproof rooms. We have thought about bringing a camera back there though, so that the audiences get a little bit of what that looks like, and maybe we'll introduce that into the next season. That would be really fun. Let's see what else. TMS Writer 6, are all the celebrity teammates together in the same soundproof room, or the two teams in separate rooms at this point in the episode? Well, as I mentioned, yeah, all four celebrities wind up in the same soundproof room. We don't really know what any of those clues are going to be or what the contestants are going to get offered. So there's no way to plan for that. So for the most part, we all get into that room and we tell our fellow celebrities how we would have played the round that they just played. It's really, it could be annoying, but also funny. And every once in a while, we just start playing music, and a couple of times people have started dancing. I mean, that's the other thing people don't know about, is that during breaks on 25 Words or Less, we have often turned the live studio audience into kind of a dance party. We're not planning on having a studio audience in the upcoming season for health reasons, which is a total bummer because the energy of that crowd really adds to the atmosphere and the fun. But really, it's the celebrities and the contestants and the gameplay that makes that show so tense in a good way. So we're very confident that the shows are going to be just as fun and just as competitive. And we're going to have an all new set, and it's going to be really great, and it's going to look great. And Meredith is revved up for a new season. I wanted to be there. Let's see. Love the show. Safety first. Yes, I totally agree. And thank you. We feel the same way. We're going to try to create the best version of the show that we can, and in a safe environment as possible. We love playing this game. It's a game that, if I didn't mention it before, it was a game that my friend Mary McCormick used to play and invite us over to play in her living room. So we were trying to create that atmosphere when we made this show. What would it be like if we invited contestants in to play with a bunch of celebrities in a living room, and it would feel like it was at Mary's? Only Mary's so competitive that when you'd play at her house, oftentimes you'd leave home bruised in the ego. But she's such a great player, so competitive and such a great player. And it really is fun sometimes to just think about what the goal is to always come up with one or two words that are the perfect kind of undeniable ways of getting somebody to say, to give an answer. Like that word shiitake, or if you said portobello for a mushroom, it's kind of an undeniable one-word answer. That's always what you're looking for. But sometimes it doesn't come to you. I had a clue once, which was inflate. And I think I was scared that if I said not deflate, that it would be giving away too much of the answer. So I stayed away from it. And so I said, fill balloon. And it didn't immediately come to the word inflate, but in my mind, it would absolutely come to it. So again, this is a game where you're hoping that your teammates can read your mind, but they can't always. And boy, you drive home later on, and you can spend hours trying to figure out what went wrong. I love when you're there, Dan. You're hilarious. Thank you so much. I love being on the show too. It's so much fun. Whether you win or lose, you just want to go and have a really good time and let the audience sort of feel the energy of the gameplay. Adding to the bucket list, playing with Mary in her living room. Yeah, well, it is certainly fun. But playing on the show is also really fun. And those of you out there, we haven't quite started looking yet, but there's always, if you're in Southern California, I think you can go to the 25 Words or Less Facebook page and find out how to apply to be a contestant. When we started season 2, I was saying we haven't quite started yet, but the preparations are in the works. Is it legal to use voice inflection like with opposites? That's an excellent question. You can say forward so that the person would say backward, but it doesn't always work. You could say forward and the person could be like front. Like they're not picking up on it. But you are allowed to use inflections. You're just not allowed to use songs. And you're not allowed to use an accent, and you're not allowed to pantomime in any way. You need to be on point with the rules. Sometimes you need to buzz the words, but you don't. Oh, manicure and pedicure. That is so funny that you should mention that, because we talked about manicure and pedicure a lot. We talked about that a lot. There's a lot of gray areas when you're talking about a show like this. Just like I was saying with inflate and deflate, how much of a word are you giving away if it's part of a similar word? And the truth is, they're two completely different words. Manicure and pedicure are two different words. So it's very, very tricky. You wouldn't be able to use an entire word that goes along with it. For example, I got buzzed, of course, by the way, because I had the word bridesmaid. And in my head, instantly, I was thinking, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, right? So in my head, I thought the perfect clue was never the bride. 3 words, never the bride. Not thinking that the word bride is a word in and of itself, and it exists in the word bridesmaids. I mean, I was so stupid. So I said never the bride, I got buzzed, right? And a better clue for that anyway is groomsmen counter, female groomsmen, something like that. But never the bride, because the word bride is a word in and of itself and it exists within bridesmaid, you can't use it. But because petty by itself and mani by itself are not actual words, you can say pedicure for manicure. It would only be if that mani or petty were an actual word. That's how the rules have sort of broken down. That was too much information, I'm sure. I'm asking because I'm deaf and a few times the crew and contestants messed up. Oh yeah, if you're reading lips, which I'm sure you're doing, you're probably catching a bunch of things that we are trying desperately to catch. We have lots and lots of judges who are on their finger buzzers the whole time, and we do the best we can, for sure. Since Lisa Kudrow is one of the executive producers, can we have all cast of Friends for a special episode? Wow, wouldn't that be great? Well, we can certainly try. Lisa's gotten Courtney on the show, and maybe second season we'll do our best and see how many of the cast of Friends want to come on and play. But that would be a really fun episode, wouldn't it? If the word says carburetor, can't use the word car because the word is in the word. Well, that's an excellent question. You guys are so smart. No, I don't think the word car means car in carburetor. I don't think the word carburetor, car park, I think that's 2 words. But the word carburetor, the use of those 3 letters, C-A-R, in carburetor, don't mean car. So you're allowed to... God, actually, that's a really good question. I'm going to have to ask the judges. If you could put a part of a car, if you could use the car in your clue for carburetor, I think you can, because the word car doesn't mean car in carburetor. Can you please bring Lisa Vidal back? I would love to bring Lisa Vidal back. If she's available when we're shooting later this summer, I would love to have Lisa Vidal back. She was so much fun to play. And you love Lisa Kudrow. Me too. You can't say it if their root word is the same. If the root word is the same. Right. I think that you're right about that. How about cast members from The Parent Trap online? Lisa Ann Warren is so great. I love when she's on. Yes, me too. Lisa Ann Warren's a great player. She loves to play the game, as does Jane Lynch. I mean, here's the thing. I don't mean to brag, but every time we brought a celebrity on to play, even if they were not sure how to play or not sure if they were going to take to the game, everybody walked away after doing our show wanting to play again. It's addicting. A carburetor and carburetor is a device. Car piece for carburetor. Steven Weber was the best I've seen, so intelligent. Well, I'll tell him you said that. Steven Weber is a dear friend of mine. He's a great player and one of the most hilarious people I've ever met. So when he's on the show, you're bound to laugh, and he's a great player. So I hope we can have him back. John Michael Higgins, yes, of course. What is the crew like? We had such an amazing crew for 25 Words or Less. Everybody was so in love with the project that they were in. We all just got along and had a great, it was last summer that we shot all 165, 170 episodes. And Meredith, everyone was there to support Meredith, who had a really tough job doing all those shows. But the crew was amazing. We have a great director in Manny Rodriguez and a great crew. So thanks for asking. This is so much fun seeing you. Oh, I have to tell you that Bruce watches with the biggest smile. Thanks. Well, Bruce Sturton, the creator of 25 Words or Less, is on our Instagram live chat, and I'm so happy and honored that he's on with us. He created the game, which is so amazing. And our husband and wife celebrity couple episodes. We're going to try to do as many special episodes as we can. I also love the idea of having castmates opposite other castmates of shows. I'm dying to do an episode with my Scandal castmates playing against maybe another show with two other castmates from a different show. Or maybe we'll do a whole Shondaland episode where we have two Grey's Anatomy cast members playing against two Scandal castmates. Thank you guys all so much for being on, for all your questions, for your engagement. We're going to do more of these Instagram lives with lots of other celebrities from our show, and we'd love to answer your questions. So go on to my Instagram or Twitter at Dan Bucatinsky, the 25 Words or Less TV, Instagram and Twitter, and on our Facebook page. Thank you so much for showing up. It's been a real blast, and hang tight and stay tuned for season 2, because we're going to be shooting it, and hopefully we'll be on the air in a safe way as soon as we possibly can. Thank you all so much, and I'll try to answer whatever questions I didn't on my own Instagram story on my Instagram page. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.